The Cardinals went 11-6 last year. They have a win total of 9. The under is -130. Of course, DeAndre Hopkins will be suspended for the first 6 games of the season, I believe. Marquise Brown was acquired in a trade on draft night. They also landed, Will Hernandez in a free agency. They lost Chandler Jones and Christian Kirk, 2 big losses, as well as Chase Edmonds. Kyler Murray is still unsigned. They haven't worked out a new contract. It sounds like they'll get it done this offseason. I don't think he'll skip any games if he didn't get the contract. Like, it would be a really bad look. But I do wonder how not having the contract might impact his availability at training camp while he's trying to work with new receivers, although he played in college with Marquise Brown. So, that should be that tough. And I just wonder how it might impact the offense. This team just feels like it's not going to come out of the gates hot like last year and be 8-0. I don't think. What do you think about the Cardinals win total?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that a lot of people are leaning under on this. I think it's a lot of the same people that were leaning under on them last year that were absolutely wrong. That being said, I'm not very bullish on the Cardinals over. I think overall I'm leaning towards the under, and we can get into exactly why. But a big reason is also because how they start the year. And you brought up the whole Kyler Murray drama. Is he going to react and come out, guns firing like an MVP candidate, or is he going to come out, the slowest he has during his entire career? Then you throw in the added element that he's not going to have DeAndre Hopkins. Look at those first 6 games. I mean, what's your record projection in those first 6 weeks?
I would have him losing the Chiefs, win at the Raiders, but I don't think that's a free win. I mean, Las Vegas could definitely win that game. Lose to the Rams, probably win at the Panthers. So that's starting 1. I guess I'm giving 2-2. They're going to lose to my Eagles, of course. So 2-3, and then I'll say 3-3, but I think it's possible it could be 2-4.
That's exactly what I think as well. I think 3-3 is where I'm leaning, but I think it's very possible they go 2-4, depending on if Philly, is as good as advertised heading into this regular season.
Yeah, I mean, and look, like Kyler Murray. Also, the thing like the Cliff Kingsbury doesn't win late in the year is a real thing. Like, it's been happening dating back to like Texas Tech. So it's kind of tough to imagine it suddenly just stopping, ceasing to exist. Like, it's no longer a thing because what will have changed? So like Cliff gets an extension and now he figures out how not to lose games at the end of the year. So unless they start out 8-0, I think these are definitely there's just tough stretches for the Cardinals, and I just have a hard time believing. I just wouldn't want to take the over knowing Hopkins isn't coming back. I think Hollywood Brown's awesome. He's a fun player to watch, but he's he's not going to come in and be like a true number 1. I don't think the Ravens aren't trading him. If he's not if he's a true number 1. I mean, he's trying to blame the freaking offense on Lamar and them not want to throw down the field. It's bro, just be a better receiver in the passing game.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely suffered through some drops through the early stages of career, no doubt about that. But I mean, that being said, I love Hollywood. In fact, if you're in a fantasy dynasty league, I would think about trading for him if you could. But still, he's not a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, as you mentioned. He's not exactly going to keep the offense afloat just by himself. I think that he could have a really good year, but he won't be enough. And again, if Arizona's not going to get off to a hot start, then they are going to hit the under on this win total. So, entering week 7, once they get DeAndre back, it's at home versus the Saints. I really love the Saints this year, but I am going to give Arizona a win there. I think that at Minnesota, that's a tough game. I think Minnesota could be another team that's better than anticipated, better than.
I think it would be shocking if Minnesota wouldn't favor that game.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. And then Seattle, then it gets really tough. That those weeks 10 through 12, that literally could decide everything. Not just the Cardinal season, but if your bet's going to hit, whether you bet the over or under on this. That's a tough stretch. At the Rams versus the 49ers. In week 11, I don't want to catch the 49ers. They might be an okay team there. And then versus the Chargers at home. We've talked about it on your podcast before. I'm kind of a believer in the Chargers here. So it's really going to be interesting to see what the Cardinals' record will be once they get to that week 13 bye.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would think, let's see, if I had him at, what I say, 3-3, I think they'll beat the Saints at home. So 4-4. I'll probably sweep Seattle, but maybe that's not a guarantee. So we'll say 5-5, and then I'll split 49ers and Chargers. So I got 6-6 at week, going into week 12. So it's like you could be a playoff team, but you probably have to win 4 of your final 5 games. Maybe you can get away with it with 3 and be 9-8. We'll see with the NFC. I don't think that's out of the question, but like it just means you've got to win 3 of New England, at Denver, home against Tampa Bay, at Atlanta, and at San Francisco. If they're only 6-6 going in that bye, so that I would definitely lean under as well, because you got to win 3 of 5 to get to that win total. So yeah, under for me for the Cardinals for sure.